Hey, what's up guys? DKRACK here. So I'm going to be doing a reaction to a new Mr. Nightmare video. It says, horrifying things that happen on horror movie sets part 2. Like always guys, I'll have a link to the original video down below. Let's go ahead and check it out by Mr. Nightmare. It says, warning, movie spoilers ahead. So I've probably seen most of these movies, so it's okay. But just warning, spoilers ahead.
This is a part 2 to the recent video I did of the scariest things to happen on horror movie sets. One of the movies on that list was The Conjuring.
Yep.
And coincidentally, the first movie on this list will be Annabelle, a movie that takes place in the same universe as The Conjuring. The first spin-off film was released in 2014 and was directed by John R. Leonetti, who claims to have experienced not one, but 2 supernatural occurrences while on set.
These movies were creepy. Annabelle and The Conjuring. Oh, they were creepy ass movies.
The first came when he claimed to have seen 3 fingers drawn through dust on set multiple times.
What?
Which is disturbing because the demonic doll the movie is named after has 3 fingers. The second came when they shot their first scene with the demon actor in all his makeup. They were filming in an old apartment building near Koreatown, Los Angeles, when the demon actor went up the elevator and headed to where the other actors were. But as he was walking down a hallway, a giant glass light fixture fell on an actor's head who was playing a janitor. To make matters even creepier, in the script, that same hallway is where the demon kills the janitor. And the creepy on-set occurrences of the Conjuring universe don't end there. Corin Hardy, who directed The Nun, says that during production, he saw 2
The Nun was freaking creepy. I hated that.
Men in a room he was filming in at a castle in Romania. He assumed they were just crew members. After completing the take, he turned to the men, but they were gone. To make things freakier, they would have had to pass him to leave the room.
Yo, that's creepy.
The 1982 movie The Poltergeist is a movie that is rumored to have been cursed. It's believed that this curse started after Steven Spielberg and Tobe Hooper decided to use real skeletons during a scene where Jobeth Williams' character falls into a swimming pool filled with skeletons, which unbeknownst to the cast, the skeletons were actually real, since using real ones would be cheaper than buying fake ones at the time.
What? Where the hell do you get a real human skeleton for a movie? You imagine the person who that skeleton belonged to when they were alive? You'd be like, I lived my whole life, I died, now I'm a skeleton, and I'm being used as a movie prop. That would kind of suck.
The majority of the fuel for the alleged curse stems from the deaths of multiple cast members. In total, 4 cast members died during and soon after the filming of the series. Carol Ann Freeling, the young protagonist of the trilogy, was played by Heather O'Rourke, and she was only 6 years old when the first Poltergeist film was released. Sadly, she was misdiagnosed with Crohn's disease in 1987, and the following year, she got sick again and was misdiagnosed with simply having the flu. But 1 day later, she collapsed and suffered a cardiac arrest. She died that day during an operation to correct a bowel obstruction.
What?
Dominique Dunn, who played the original older sister Dana Freeling, met an equally tragic and unforeseen fate. In November of 1982, Dominique's ex John Sweeney, who she had recently cut ties with, showed up at her house pleading for her to take him back. When she refused, he grabbed her neck and choked her until she was unconscious, leaving her to die in her driveway. Sweeney was sentenced to a horrendously lenient 6.5 years in prison, but was released after only 3 years and 7 months.
He only got 3 years for murder? How did he only get 3 years for killing her?
Julian Beck played the evil preacher Cain from Poltergeist 2. In 1983, Julian had been diagnosed with stomach cancer, which took his life soon after he finished work on the second installment of the series. The same film was met with further tragedy after Will Sampson, who played Taylor the Native American shaman, died after undergoing a heart-lung transplant, which had a very slim survival rate.
Wow.
Poltergeist remains a movie with one of the highest amount of tragedies to hit its cast members.
That's
Heather O'Rourke
I didn't know that.
To have haunted the set of another movie though, the 1990 film Ghost. Not as much a horror movie, just a movie about the afterlife. But some believe there may have been a real supernatural
Did they like see the little blonde-haired girl on the movie set?
Presence on set. The movie involved Paramount Studios Stage 19, where the sitcom Happy Days was filmed, a sitcom that Heather starred in 12 episodes for. Workers from the stage have experienced inexplicable power outages and have heard laughter late at night, laughter reminiscent of Heather. One night shift security guard who worked stage 19 told about the paranormal activities that go on at the studio.
Oh, that gave me chills.
Security guard claimed that almost every night he would hear running and laughing on the catwalk above the set, which is where Heather liked to play when she was on the set for Happy Days. The security guard also told that sometimes workers would see the little girl playing on the stage. When asked what they do when they see her, the security guard replied that they usually just tell her to leave and she runs off. On the set of Ghost was no different. What the hell?
She would just run off?
Members have claimed to hear the young girl running around in the catwalks above the stage and laughing. The Exorcist is undeniably one of the most well-known horror.
Not a surprise The Exorcist is on here. A lot of weird crap happened on that movie, I remember. I don't know the details, I've just heard that a lot of weird stuff happened.
Movies of all time, having become a household name. But lesser known is the fact that it's also notorious for having a supposedly haunted set. One of the eeriest examples is that the set of the McNeil's house caught fire. The Exorcist was faced with multiple production delays, but the first was by far the worst. The set for Regan's family home burned down in 1972 after a bird flew into the circuit box. The only part of the set that survived
How random
was the bedroom
is that?
where the exorcisms would take place.
Bird flew in.
Chances of that being very slim. This set production of the movie back significantly and led to shooting taking over a year. After the incident, a real priest was called in to bless the set. During filming, Ellen Burstyn, who played the mother, Chris McNeil, suffered a spinal injury while being hoisted around on a harness. She claims to have been screaming to turn the cameras off and to stop pulling her, which was all dismissed or ignored. She was left on crutches for the rest of the production.
I had a rig around my midriff with a wire coming out.
Oh, that pulled her back.
Stuntman was pulling me too hard. I can get hurt. And Billy said, well,
I didn't know that.
I said, I understand, but I'm telling you, I could get hurt. And the stuntman was standing there listening to this.
So they didn't care. They were more worried about getting the right shot for the movie, making it look real. So this lady here, she really was in pain. They pulled her. She hurt her back. Like, oh, that looks real enough. That's a good shot for the movie. And she freaking hurt her back. Oh, my gosh.
And Billy said to him, okay, don't pull her so hard. But as I turned away, I felt them exchange a look. You see me hit and you see me reach for my back. I screamed in horrendous pain. Billy motioned to
That's
Owen
messed
to
up.
take the
Oh my
camera down on me.
God.
The moment she fractured her lower spine was actually the footage that's in the movie, and the screams you hear in the movie are not acting, rather actual cries of pain, but the crew assumed she was only acting. But the real curse of the movie would be the deaths linked to the movie. They included Jack McGowran, who played the film director Burke Dennings. Ahead of the film's release, Jack tragically died from complications related to influenza.
Wow.
Vasiliki Maliaros, who played Father Damien Cara's mother, also passed away that same year before The Exorcist was released, reportedly dying of natural causes. Both of their characters in the movies also died. During the production, a number of the cast and crew, including Linda Blair, who played Regan,
creepy
and
movie.
Max von Sydow, who played Father Merrin, also lost family members, and the son of Jason Miller, who played Father Karras, had a near-fatal motorcycle accident during filming.
Oh my God.
The 1968 film Rosemary's
That's insane.
Baby follows a failing actor who agrees to give up his
I don't think I've ever seen this movie. Rosemary's Baby? Yeah, I don't think I've seen this movie.
wife's womb to Satan so he could have a taste of fame. It
What?
was an instant hit,
Ugh.
but the satanic overtones of the film have led people to believe the film had been cursed, and a number of the cast and crew had suffered horrible fates because of it. To start, the composer for the soundtrack of the movie, Krzysztof Komeda, died in 1969 after falling off a rocky slope at a party. He had entered a coma for 4 months until passing away. This is very similar to the death of the character Hutch in Rosemary's Baby, but if anybody were to have been hit the hardest by the alleged curse, it would have to be the film's director, Roman Polanski. Initially, he wanted to include his wife Sharon Tate in the film as Rosemary, but was overruled by the producer Robert Evans, who fought to cast Mia Farrow. Sharon was instead cast as an unnamed background character in a single party scene. A year after the film was released, Sharon and some of her friends were staying in a rented house in Los Angeles.
Oh,
when Tex
no.
Watson and some girls from the Manson family broke in. The Manson family was a gang or cult led by Charles Manson that was active in California in the late 1960s and early 1970s.
Yo.
Tex Watson and the girls killed Sharon and all of her friends, inflicting more than 100 piercing wounds total among the 4 victims. Sharon Tate was 8 months pregnant when it happened. The alleged curse—
Talk about being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Oh, and she was 8 months pregnant, that poor baby. And the woman, oh my gosh.
of the movie doesn't stop there, though. The Dakota is a famous building in New York, which served as the exterior for the apartments in Rosemary's Baby. But little did a lot of people know that it was the site of John Lennon's murder. The Dakota's Gothic style was a perfect choice for the movie, as it's exactly what you'd expect the home of witches to look like. The producer Robert Evans claimed that the whole time he felt uncomfortable in and near the building while on set.
That's
After
kind
the
of a
film was
creepy
released,
looking
one of
building.
the producers, William Castle, was hit with kidney stones, and he claimed that during surgery, he began to hallucinate scenes from the film and even shouted, "Rosemary, for God's sake, drop that knife." He later admitted in his autobiography that he was overall very frightened of Rosemary's Baby.
Wow, another great video by the one and only Mr. Nightmare. Horrifying things that happen on horror movie sets, part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. If you're new, leave a comment down below. If you want to become a channel member and help support the channel, click the join button down below. I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Peace.